Hey, hi, hello. Welcome or welcome back. I'm Heather, or Ms. Postweight if you're one of my students, and this is Pages with Postweight. I'm super glad you're here. Today we're going to talk about my February wrap-up. What are the middle grade books that I read in February? So I've got 6 great titles to share with you. If that sounds good, stick around. Okay, so in getting started today, I have a couple of the books that I read that I don't have physically with me right now. And so the first one I'm going to talk about is one of those. It is the second book in the Witchlings series by Caribel A. Ortega. It's the Witchlings, the Golden Frog Games. It was just as delightful as the first one. I'm loving this world. I love our main characters. So they are the 3 lovely spares from the first book, and that would be Seven, Valley, and Thorn. This book really focuses in a lot on Seven, obviously, and Thorn. Thorn is actually very gifted with her kind of passion is clothing and like magic that comes into that. And there is this big competition between all of the towns, and it's called the Golden Frog Games. And the competitors do these like magical challenges, and Thorn is accepted as one of those competitors. It's controversial because she is a spare. And so as we kind of saw in the first book, the spares are discriminated against, thought of as less than, and treated really negatively by a lot of people. But these lovely ladies are changing a lot of people's minds and hearts and thoughts. And the nice thing about that is that it's having an impact on the spare community in all of the towns. And so here we have Thorn, who's competing in this really popular game, and there's never been a spare before. So she's kind of in the limelight. Seven is still dealing with some repercussions from the first book. I'm hoping you've read that one, so I don't want to do any spoilers, but her magic is not working the way it's supposed to, and so she's got some kind of big things going on in her life as well. And of course, Valley also has some things going on that are continuations from the first book, and we get to see a little bit more of what's going on in her life, but she's not the main star of this book, in all honesty. I think there is so there's a first book, I think there's like a 1.5, and it kind of centers on her, and I need to get my hands on it. So see if Valley gets her chance. Anyway, it was a fantastic book. I loved it. I love the world. I love, Ortega is just a wonderful author. Great series. Highly recommend. So that was my first book, 5 stars. My second book is TBH, This Is So Awkward. This is by Lisa Greenwald. This is a series of books with the kids in middle school, and it's all in text messages and emails and that kind of thing. It's the first one, and I know this series has several books in it, and it's quite popular. I think my students would enjoy it. I really do. This is one of those moments where I have to sit down and look at the fact that middle grade is written for younger kids. It's written for the age ranges probably around 8 to 13, maybe 14, depending. So it's not written for me. It's written for them. I have to sit down sometimes when I'm reading a book and take off my adult hat and see it from that perspective. The kids love this kind of thing where they're reading all of the the lingo, and I fail quite hard on that sometimes. So I know that when I rate this one, Please know I'm reading it as an adult reader and whether or not I enjoyed it. That does not reflect on whether or not students will like it, kids will like it. I think they will. This one centers on a group of friends. They're in middle school. This age group can be very hard. A new kid coming in, it can be kind of difficult to find your place in that and to infiltrate friendship groups. That makes sense, you know, that's a very developmentally accurate thing. The book does some weird things with the adults, not necessarily the kids, but the adults in the book, where the adults are interfering, like they're advocating for their kids. There's one particular storyline here where we have a new kid who came in and she's trying really hard to make friends, to become a part of a group, to just, you know, be accepted. And she does a lot of things right in doing that. I was weirded out a little bit by the way the adults handled some of the events going on, but I also know as an adult dealing with kid stuff, I'm sure we make mistakes. I'm sure we insert ourselves in places where we didn't need to be. I'm sure we say the wrong things. And so is it authentic? Probably. Do I think my students are going to like it? Yes, I do. I'm going to bring it to my classroom this week because they are really enjoying this type of like presentation of information. Did I like it? Not a whole lot, but it wasn't for me anyway, and I'm okay with that. So, recommended for middle graders. There you go. Personally, I gave it 3 stars because I can see the potential for the kids, but I won't be picking up any more of these. I will get them for my students, so I think they'll enjoy them. Okay, so that's number 2. Number 3 that I read, I'm going to talk about it. I feel like it is older middle grade going into YA. So the age group I would probably put this book at is 12 plus. So this is definitely an older middle grade to YA. It's called The Marrow Thieves by Cherie Dimaline. So I've talked about this book before on another video because this is a banned book. The book is an own voices, Native American or indigenous culture dystopian. It is set about 100 years from now into the future, and we have a society that has done so much to the world around it that it has poisoned even the people within. Society's kind of collapsing. A lot of environmental things have shifted and changed and made resources difficult. And on top of that, there is a worldwide problem where people can't dream. And it's causing madness and difficulties. And it's discovered that the indigenous people of North America retained their ability to dream. So at first, people go to them asking for advice and support and that kind of thing. But in the end, they become a resource, and it's kind of horrific. The title says it all, but the people are used to fix a problem. It touches back on the building of the boarding schools a little bit, but we're in the future. It's a dystopian future. The main story, the whole story is basically our main character's name is Frenchie, and he is journeying, escaping, running for his life. And he finds family, he finds people, he finds others from other indigenous cultures. They band together. There's a lot of young people, not so many older people, and the whole drive is to go north. The idea is that somewhere in the north, it's safer. In the north, you'll find community. And as they travel north, they become a family. It's beautiful in that it's got a lot of messages about tradition and valuing where you come from and holding on to important cultural pieces. And it's a beautiful story. It's difficult. It's a hard read. There are some struggles in it, and we are dealing with a teenager. So there's elements of that whole thing as well. You've got romantic interests, you've got survival. It was a fantastic read. It's 5 stars, hands down, fantastic. I loved it. I really enjoyed this book. So I'm including it here. Whether or not it's actually middle grade and probably more YA is debatable, but there you have it. My last 3 books are actually all part of a series. I have been reading Amulet, the series, because I'm getting ready for the author coming to the Festival of Books that's coming soon. My month has been a little busy, so it was really nice to have these lovely graphic novels to fill the space. So I looked everywhere for Amulet number 2. This is the Stonekeeper's Curse, and ended up buying it. I'm actually very happy that I bought it because this is a happy teacher moment. I have a student, kind of a reluctant reader, doesn't enjoy very much, and I popped Amulet into his hands earlier this week, and he enjoyed it, and he asked me for the second one, and I'm like, oh, I actually do have the second one. I will bring that. So I'm filming this so I can get that to school and get this in the hands of a kid. So yay, good job, Kazu Kibuishi. I'm so sorry. I'm sure I'm mutilating that name. Anyway, this one kind of takes our characters. Our main character is Emily, and she is the Stonekeeper, the one that is wearing the amulet, and kind of embracing and understanding the world that they have come into. There's a lot of questions. They were, in the first book, really just kind of, I don't know, gobsmacked with the fact that there's magical, all of this world even exists. So in this one, it's coming to terms with that. There's a lot of fantastical, fabulous things. We do get a couple of new characters in here. The house moves. Isn't that cool? Everything seems to be sentient, especially when you have the stone involved. This was beautiful. Really gorgeous pictures. I mean, the story, it's just lovely. So that was the number 2. Number 3 is the Cloud Searchers. Emily's brother is definitely finding his place amongst the group, and it's been a lot of fun. They are looking for the lost city where they feel like they might be able to find maybe the council and get help and support, because the bad guys in this one are the elves. And so apparently the elves are ready to attack, and so they're looking for support and help. Really, again, gorgeous, gorgeous pictures. It's a fun read. Very quick. And I read number 4. Spoiler alert, they found the city. So we're here, and things are not the way they seem. This one is called The Last Council, and we're definitely dealing with some interesting new things. We meet new friends, and adventures ensue. I will be continuing with this series. I'm really enjoying it, and these ones came from the school library, so my student that's enjoying them, I'm gonna direct him to the library after this. So yay, reading win. That's it. It's not a big, huge list this go round, but some of them were really great books. So very much enjoying it. I've got some others in the works. I'm really excited for March. It's going to blow you away because it's middle grade March. So lots and lots of books coming for this. Anybody else reading a really good graphic novel, maybe Amulet or something else? I'm loving graphic novels, and I really didn't think I would. I was snooty about it, and I've learned my lesson. They're fantastic. I hope you're having a great month, and welcome to March, and happy reading. So we'll see you on the flip side. Bye, guys.